Hello, welcome back to my channel, and here I am with another great tutorial. What you see on your screen, this is a center console. The customer made it. I will be making some changes. Guys, I am not here to criticize this customer. He made it, and I'm going to make some changes. I already explained it to him, and he's agreed. I will charge a little bit more because I have to replace some pieces of wood. He make it all one piece. You know, to make it one piece, I know, because he's not upholstery, he just made it. But for us, when you're going to wrap it with vinyl, sometimes it is hard. So I'm going to take them apart. You will see, I think 70% of the whole process. I am not going to show you everything because I am pretty sure you will do it without watching me how I'm doing it. This center console belongs to the Ford classic truck. I will be making a compartment right there for the phone, and you will see that part. Let's dive in, guys. So first thing first, I'm going to start taking them apart. Like I say, the way they made it, it is so hard for us to wrap it. So I'm going to change it a little bit, and you will see I am cutting, I am separating those pieces because they made it in two pieces, but they put a staple on it. It's gonna still in two pieces, but you will see how do I make it easy for the customer to take them apart, separate one piece, and then put it together. You will see that process. So I am cutting those staples. It comes with glue. You see, I already separated. Simple. Okay, now the exterior is gonna be right there. I don't like that wood that is on there because I'm going to use the router without cheapy wood. It's not gonna work. So what am I doing? I have to take out that piece and cut a new piece of using a different kind of wood. NDF. I will use NDF for that part. And there it is. So right here, I am cutting that wood too and sanding really good. I am not going to add nothing of foam on that part because steel is gonna be in two pieces, and those two pieces going to assemble it together. Right here, I'm going to make a pocket. That pocket, imagine how big it is, your iPhone or your Samsung or whatever phone that you are using it. So I am making something like with those dimensions, 6.5 by 7, and thing like that. I'm going to cut that piece of wood, and I will use the router in there. So I will use this small circular saw, because it is way easier. I will use it on those four sides. I am not going to make a corner right here. It's going to be like a little bit rounded, wide rounded those corners, because it is way easier to wrap it with vinyl, with leather, with fabric when it's rounded. If it is a corner, we can still using our experience to wrap it, but it's not the same when it's rounded. And I will use a router to eliminate those sharp angle. Right here you see I am using a jigsaw to make a little bit of rounded right there. It's way easier like that. Way easier to wrap it with any kind of material when it's rounded. Okay, I already cut it. I will use this router just to taper that part out. By doing these ways, it will be easier to wrap it with vinyl. Easier than if you left that part with a tapering. Same thing right here. Same thing right here. Okay. This center console was attached with the staple. Those two pieces were with the staple and glue. So I'm going to make two pieces of wood and put them on there. And I'm going to add two bolts with nut to hold it. Easy to take them apart and easy to put it together. You can see I am cutting those pieces of wood, and will be one right here, and then the other piece of wood will be in the same direction, but on the other piece, on this part of the center console. I put glue, wood glue always, and then I will put a staple. Same distance, whatever it is from the bottom to the top, same thing will be on the other piece, and I hold it with the staple. And then you see I am putting back. I already got the dimension. And put it with the staple. That is one piece. And same thing with the other. So now I'm going to attach those pieces with this wood screw. For right now it's gonna be wood screw, but I will make a hole and put some bolt in there. So you can see I have one bolt on the bottom, and I think it had two right there. It's hard to see, and it had two. So I'm going to drill a hole right there. There is one, and there is one more. So you can see I am putting a wood T-nut. Then I'm putting a 2-inch long pole, one, and then I would put the other one in there. And then I just put it together, and I will hold those two pieces with 2 nuts. How simple it is, huh? So simple. So let's cut this piece out of the NDF, because I'm going to use the grinder, and this wood, it is so rough. I don't know why the customer used this wood, but he had a pretty good idea by making this center console. Just making some small changes. So I will cut that piece of wood in there. The stereo will be in there. I have to make it. Drill a hole on the one corner, and then drill a hole on the other corner right there. Then I will use the jigsaw. The mini circular blade is too big for it right here, so that's what I'm using the jigsaw. Then I put the stereo in there. Perfect. It has to be a little bit loose, that part, eh? Then I use the router just to eliminate that sharp angle in there. Then I use the sander to eliminate those rough part that is on the center console. What you see on your screen, that is a closed cell phone, 1/4 inch thickness. So I will use that to wrap the whole center console. I sand it, then I put glue, I apply glue. The glue that I am using is a land down top and trim glue. And I will put glue right here on this wood, the top and the front part. And I will do the same thing with the other pieces and all around. You can see it. And I am doing the same thing with those other pieces of closed cell phone. It's a very good phone. The quality of this phone is very good, but you can not use it in a seat insert. Well, there are some exceptions for you when you're going to use that on the seat insert. But this for center console, dashboard, and some headliner, custom headliner, door panel, custom door panel. The closed cell phone it works so good. But you're going to make some custom in a hard surface. So you can use a knife, but I can use a pneumatic knife too, way easier. This is a blue point tool. Way easier, my friend. See? You can cut that all that with manually too, with the sharp knife. You don't have to have a blue point mini saw, reciprocal saw. You don't have to have it. I made the hole for this stereo. Then I will put this piece in there. I'm going to glue it, and same thing. I will cut it all around, trim it all around, exactly where the wood it is, right there. Easy to cut it when you have that tool. No matter how much you pay for the tool will be ending paying by itself. It will make you so efficient, and most of the time the quality will be better. But you can do all this manually without a mini reciprocal saw. The thing is, it will take you longer. That's the only thing. So I cut the other part. You see, I put foam on the back section of this center console. I didn't show you, like I say, I'm not going to show you everything 100%, but I'm showing you right there that I already put a same kind of foam, and I am measuring the dimension for all those pieces of vinyl that I'm going to cut, top, back, front, size, and I already cut it. You're going to do the same thing. Here is one thing, my friend. The center console on the top has one measurement, has 6 and something inches, and on the bottom has less. So that's what I am drawing. That is that part in there. I am drawing those edges, and always put some notches. Always, my friend. After I draw that piece, I put them on the table and I start cutting, giving the extra for the seam allowance. If you give a 1/4 of an inch for the seam allowance, make sure to take in when you are sewing 1/4 of an inch. If you're giving 1/2 inch, make sure to take in 1/2 inch when you are sewing those pieces, and put notches. So same thing, I put foam right here. I put glue right there. Then I glue that piece, and then I start drawing. That drawing is so simple. It is so simple. I know there are a lot of people who do this, who have been working on this trade for a long time ago, and they do like nothing. I guess it's because the experience. And I understand too. If you barely start working in upholstery, I understand how hard it is for you to make something like this. I understand that part. I have been there. I have been there, my friend. But don't give up. Don't give up. See, I am cutting, making those notches. And I'm going to cut the size panel. The good thing right here is this left and right size are the same. So I'm going to draw one piece, then by this piece I can cut the other side without any problem. Right there is straight, so I just put one mark on the top, one and one on the bottom, then I will use the ruler. Right here, see, I put the ruler, and I draw that line. Then I put one piece facing down, the other one facing up, and it's time to cut it. Always giving some extra for the seam allowance, always. And I got this part of the center console ready to start sewing. Just make sure to put those notches, like a left and right piece, front and back, and let's take it to the sewing machine. To do this, my friend, you have to know the basics about sewing using your machine, because you can see me sewing without any problem, and what you are going to try will be hard for you. If that is your case, you have to practice it. You see, I put that piece in there. I'm making sure those notches match each other, and I keep sewing, slowly sewing. That stitch right here, it is as small as possible. Why it is small? Because I'm not going to reinforce from the bottom. I'm not going to put a reinforce. That's what I make it smallest. when I put the reinforce from the bottom, when I made the stitch bigger, then no matter what, I have to reinforce from the bottom. I am sewing the other piece, same thing, and then I'm going to put a top stitch. It will be a French stitch, but I'm putting the first top stitch on the left side of the needle. You have to have a control right here, perfect control to put that stitch as straight as possible. You see I have a guide in there. It helped me. Yes, it helped me. I am not going to deny it. When you are using accessory, it helps you a lot. But still, if you don't have the experience, you can have the accessory, but without experience, that stitch still will be crooked. So the accessory help a lot to have more control of your stitch. But still, you have to practice it. Make sure to practice before you put a top stitch or a French stitch. And there it is, the first French stitch on this center console. There it is. Same thing on the other side. That was the front part that I just showed you. This is the back section of the center console. Same thing. I made the stitch small as possible. I put a French stitch, having absolutely control. Don't let the machine control you. You have to control the machine where you are sewing. Practicing, my friend. Practicing. If you put a top stitch and that top stitch look crooked or look weird, it's because you need to practice it. That's all. You need to practice it. No matter what, you need to practice it. I have a double needle sewing machine and I am not using it. I am not using it. Most of the time I'm using it, but I am not in this case. This is the first top stitch, same thing on the other side. And there it is. And I'm going to put a top stitch. French stitch. Slow. Pull the material to the side of the needle. When you are putting a top stitch or French stitch, pull the material to the side of the needle. Not just sewing. Not just sewing, my friend. Pull it. Okay, I'm done with the sewing process of this section of the center console. Then I take it to the table. I put glue around where the vinyl is going to be gluing. And same thing right here. I put glue. Top. And then I put glue right here on the bottom. I will glue this. I can hold this cover with glue only, but I will put a staple too. You might asking why are you putting glue and then would you put in a staple? I don't know, my friend. I get used to work like this. I am wrong, I am wrong, because it is not necessary to put glue and then put a staple. Just with one of them will hold that cover perfectly. But I don't know. I just get used to it. Then I start putting that cover a little by little, my friend. Pull it. And here is one thing, my friend. That French stitch can be perfect, but if you don't mount this cover right, that French stitch will look ugly, will look crooked, will look bad. So make sure to put those French stitch exactly where the angle of that wood it is. If you have to move the cover to the left or to the right, do it without you start putting a staple. So I'm making sure the cover is placing right. Then I start gluing and putting a staple. So right there. And I cut the excess material. I always do. Some people leave the excess in there. They say it doesn't show. But I get used to cut it no matter what. And I am gluing the top piece. You can see it. I'm gluing the top piece. Then, before to wrap, keep wrapping those pieces, I have to make sure both pieces assemble together. You can see how easy it is, my friend. I can't believe it. Okay, to make the inbox of this center console, I cut some pieces of chipboard, 4 pieces, because they're 4 size. And then those 4 pieces are going to wrap it with vinyl. You can see them on there. There are 3 different ways how you can make this inbox of this center console. 3 different ways. I am showing you one of them. This is the easiest one? No, this is not the easiest one. This is the middle one. There is one where it's easier than this one, but I don't like it. So I apply glue on that chipboard, both front and back piece. And then I do the same thing with the vinyl. It's all vinyl, my friend. This is gonna be wrapped with all vinyl. Then I put glue on the sides, top, left, and right. And I'm now going to put glue on the bottom. You might be asking why. I will cut it even to that chipboard. So right here, I just cut the corner. And I will cut a little bit that vinyl all around. Okay, I got that part. And I'm applying glue inside the center console. You didn't see me applying glue, but I already did it. And I am applying glue on both pieces of chipboard already. And here I'm going to glue these pieces. I will show you right there. You can see it. Perfect. And I will make another piece of wood for the bottom of that piece. I'm not going to show you that part. You can see it. You can have an idea how it will look inside. Here is the other piece. And I will do the same thing with those sizes of chipboard. And I already wrapped the base. I didn't show you, like I say. Some part I am not going to show you because are easier. And I am pretty sure you will do it without watching me doing it. So the customer made this part on 2 pieces. I would prefer doing on 1. He wanted like that. I talked to him. He wanted like that. So I am making some hole because I'm going to hold that piece of wood with click. I didn't show you how you can cut that piece of vinyl. So I'm on the corner. So it does for corner. I didn't show you that. That is easier. My friend, I have a lot of videos on my channel. A lot. On this English channel, I have a lot of videos where you can learn all those easy things. On my Spanish channel, I have more than 1,000 videos related to tips and tricks related to upholstery. Easy thing, hard thing, boat, convertible top, sunroof panel, carpet, door panel, dashboard, etc., etc. A lot, more than 1,000 videos, my friend, on my Spanish channel. So most of those videos will be right here pretty soon. So stay tuned because I know this channel, it doesn't have that much video, but it will pretty soon. So I added 3.5 pounds of density foam on the center console. I cut those pieces already of vinyl. I didn't show you but how to trace it, but it's almost the same process as you see me before cutting those pieces for the center console. So I'm just going to put same thing right here, make it the stitch as small as possible, and then put the regular stitch, the blind stitch, and then put in a French stitch. Same thing. Very simple, huh? Very simple. And right here I make sure to the stitch is straight. And a little by little, especially when you are not sewing like straight pieces, when it's a corner, you have to be precautioned in there because any mistake will be so notable. So take your time and do it right. And there it is. So I'm going to hold that coil with the staple. This center console, it is simple. The customer you saw it at the beginning, and this is not expensive as other one that I had done. Why? Because it is all vinyl. The customer just want me to wrap it with vinyl, and he don't ask for something special like combination of color, something like fancy. He just want me to wrap it with vinyl. On that sheetboard I am glue a vinyl. That will be the piece that I will cover all those staples. There are two ways how you can cover those staples. Three ways. This is one of them. I like this way because it looks nice, and there it is. So that is that part, my friend. And I'm going to work on the front section of the center console. This is easier than the one where you saw me wrapping because take time, those lifts for the center console, making the inbox and things like that. This is only a 3-piece plus that pocket with wrinkle. You saw me on the first piece before, tracing from outside, right? And you see me now right here tracing from inside. You might asking what is the difference? It doesn't. The only thing is right here you are tracing from inside. The result will be the same. I am just giving you two different ways how you can trace it, how you can draw it, how you can cut that piece. One drawing from outside and the other from inside. And then same thing, you take it to the table, you start cutting, give it for the seam allowance. Okay, I got that piece. And I will fold it by half. Why by half? Because I want to make sure both sides are equal. And I want those notches to be in the same direction. Okay, perfect. So let's cut the other piece, the size. I put the vinyl facing down. And I put the console, the top. You see the vinyl has extra on 4 sizes. I like to work like that. I don't want to cut nothing exactly. I want extra. Then I start drawing. Okay, I draw those pieces, then I put one facing down and the other facing up, and I will cut 2 pieces at the same time. And then I take it to a sewing machine and start sewing. Same thing. Sewing. This is easier than the other one. The other one, well, compared to some other console, this is still a piece of cake. No matter how many stitches you have, it's still a piece of cake. Made the stitches a little bit bigger because it is a French stitch. And I start sewing slow. And I start pulling those stitches to the side and keep sewing a little by little, making sure that French stitch look beautiful. When the thread is the same color as the material, always try to put the stitch straight. If the thread is different color than the vinyl, you have to spend more time putting the stitches, because any mistake will be seen from far away. And I keep sewing. Simple and easy, my friend. Okay, I got one side. I think it is not necessary to see me to watch me sewing the other side. So same thing. I came to the table and put glue inside all around the perimeter. And I will put glue behind where the stereo will be, because I will glue the vinyl in there. And on those pockets, I will put glue too. And same thing right here on this vinyl. Put glue all around, my friend. All around. And start putting that cover. Take your time on that process. This is easier, but take your time. Make sure to put that stitch exactly where should be. Exactly. Play with it. and then I pull it and I will hold that cover with the staple. And whatever I have to cut, I will cut. Any cut that you make, my friend, if you cut it too close to the wood, that cut might be CNF, might be exposed. So make sure if the wood it is half inch, that cut it has to be half inch before to reach the angle, before to reach the wood. If it's nothing that's going to be there, I'm going to put you an example later on. You will see it. I hold that part with the staple. And staple all that part. And cut the excess material. Okay, I got that part. Then I'm going to do the same thing right here. Put some staple. I know you are not seeing me what I'm doing, but just think about it that I am putting a staple on that area right there. And then I cut in the excess material. So right here, my friend, I will put some line where those corners are. And then I will cut. If the wood is 1/4 inch thickness, that cut has to be 1/4 inch before to hit or to reach that mark. 1/4 inch. If the vinyl stretch a lot, you can cut it a little bit less. If the wood is a half inch thickness and the vinyl stretch a lot, you can cut 1/4 inch close to the edge. I put the stereo in there. That is that part. Now it is time to make this pocket, to cut that hole and work on that area. I cut and I glue that part. Here is the part that will be for the pocket. It's 1/4 inch deco wood or decorative wood, something like that. I will wrap that wood, the outside only, with vinyl, and I will cut exactly around. I will hold those pieces of wood with half inch screw. Can be wood screw, can be chrome screw. It doesn't matter because we'll be inside. That's the way how I'm going to hold those pieces of wood into the center console. And you can see I glue the vinyl and I am cutting exactly all around. So what is next? I cut this piece of vinyl with extra. Then I draw a line 2-inch in. Why? Because I'm going to put an elastic inside. I'm going to fold it and I'm going to put 2 stitches. This is the first stitch. There are like 5 different ways how you can make a pocket. This is one of them. This is one of them. I'm putting elastic inside. Then I am sewing. And the elastic is inside. Don't grab the elastic with the stitch. No, don't grab it. And because I to pocket, I was going to sew that one. I didn't show you. I put one piece of wood right here. I draw a line, follow with the side of the hole, and I will draw a line 1.5 inches from that line, line. And that piece of material that I just sewed with the elastic have a lot of extra. If you want a lot of wrinkle in there, don't pull it too much. If you want a small fraction more wrinkle, so pull it a little bit more, like that. See it? I pull it, I cut it, then I keep stapling all around. I cut those corners, and then I will hold that part with 4 1/2-inch long screw. Like always, I cut the excess material. So it is time to put them on. It is easier to put them on than it is. Just place it right before you put the first screw. Make sure the pocket is straight. And here we go. Let's hold it with 4 small screws. If you think you need more, put more. But this with 4 small screws are more than enough. Okay, now it is time to assemble these 2 pieces. Remember, I put 2 bolts in there. I hold it with 2 nuts, and there it is. And the hole for the cup holder I didn't show you, are very simple. And there it is, my friend. I'm going to hold that center console with those 3 bolts in there, and there it is. So simple, huh? The customer made it out of wood. He made it. And I made some adjustment. I explained it to him what I was going to do and why. So I separated. I put some bolt to hold the back. Then I wrap it with closed cell phone. I trace the vinyl. I cut those pieces. Then I take it to the sewing machine, and you saw me mounting that cover. You saw me making that part, and look how pretty that center console it is. The custom one, those hinges in there. So there it is, my friend. Thank you so much for watching my video. Once again, I know there are a lot of experts, a lot of professionals who are watching this video. If you are one of them, thank you so much for your presence right here, my friend. I know maybe this video doesn't show you nothing new, but for those who are learning this trades, this video might be helpful, my friend. Thank you so much for helping for watching this video. I hope you enjoy. If that was the case, don't forget to hit the like button. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, feel free to do it. I bet you will learn a lot about upholstery on this channel. Thank you, and see you on another video. Bye bye.